thrive. Ross Ulbricht built an empire where the dark could survive, but power brings paranoia and the threat started to grow. So he sought out a hitman in the depths below. Oh Ross, you thought you were the king, but the hitman you hired was a dangerous thing. You paid for the silence, but the silence was a lie, and the feds were watching as your world came to die. He sent the Bitcoin, and he waited for the deed, but the hitman was a con man with a heart full of greed. The messages were tracked by the authorities' hand, and the evidence piled high like the grains of sand. Oh Ross, you thought you were the king, but the hitman you hired was a dangerous thing. You paid for the silence, but the silence was a lie, and the feds were watching as your world came to die. He sent the Bitcoin, and he waited for the deed, but the hitman was a con man with a heart full of greed. The messages were tracked by the authorities' hand, and the evidence piled high like the grains of sand. The deal was released, and the truth came to light. The public saw the messages in the cold hard night. From the Silk Road's founder to a man in a cell, Russell Britt's story, a cautionary tale to tell. To tell. So here's to the dreamer who thought he could control the darknet's endless reaches and the Bitcoin's toll. But the hitman was a phantom and the feds were too near, and Russell Britt's empire disappeared in a tear. Oh Ross, you thought you were the king, but the hitman you hired was a dangerous thing. You paid for the silence, but the silence was a lie, and the feds were watching as your world came to die. So let this be a lesson in the world of the dark, where power and paranoia leave their lasting mark. Russ Ulbricht's story is a tale of the net, a king who fell hard